Eva, did you know that Buckingham Palace's helmet is in the news again?
Really? Really? What's it doing now, Hank?
Quiet on the spaceship, everyone.
Good morning, Earthlings. Charlie here. We've got a thrilling start for you today. But first, a little teaser. Our first headline is coming all the way from Croatia. Stay with us to find out what's brewing in the land of surprises. Alright, everyone, let's jump into today's World Roundup. Global status updates.
Major talking points on Earth.
Russia-Ukraine war. The Russia-Ukraine war feels like binge-watching a never-ending TV series. 7 months in, and it's still unfolding. Russia's making its moves in Donbass, but the Ukrainians are playing hard to get. It's like a marathon with no finish line in sight.
SpaceX Starlink missions now shifting our focus to the final frontier. SpaceX is on a mission to bring high-speed internet from the stars to Earth. In the past fortnight, they have launched 3 Starlink missions. It's as if they are determined to ensure everyone on Earth can stream cat videos at warp speed.
And if you're not into cat videos, you can always stream Don Rickles' roast specials.
Global food crisis. Speaking of sustenance, Earth got itself into a bit of a pickle. The war in Ukraine has stirred up trouble in the global food supply. According to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, there's a genuine threat of worldwide famine. Prices are reaching for the stars, and Earth's pantry is starting to
Climate
look better.
change, and now, let's chat about the weather. Earth's experiencing some serious mood swings lately. Heat waves, droughts, floods, and wildfires are the new norm. It's like Mother Nature became a roller coaster operator, and Earthlings are just along for the wild ride.
Rocket Lab's latest mission. Rocket Lab, our friends from New Zealand, are making wave, too. They've recently launched a mission carrying a swarm of tiny satellites into orbit. It's like they're trying to snag their slice of the cosmic
UK
pie.
Prime Minister Boris Johnson resigns. Across the pond, there's been quite the drama. Boris Johnson, you know, the one with the distinctive hair, threw in the towel on July 7, 2023. Scandal and a loss of party support will do that to a person. They're now hosting audition for the next Prime Minister. Coming to a political theater near you in September.
Sri Lankan president flees the country. Meanwhile, over in Sri Lanka, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa decided it was time for a vacation on July 13, 2023. It's like a take your president to work day. But instead, the whole country decided to organize a protest. The economy's in tatters, and they're low on essentials like food and
I'm
fuel.
starting to think that world leaders just don't want to be world leaders anymore. I mean, Boris Johnson quit, the Sri Lanka president fled the country, and Rocket Lab is launching satellites into space like they're trying to escape the planet. It's like everyone's just saying,
James
"I'm
Webb
out."
Space Telescope releases first images, and finally, for the cosmic cherry on top. The James Webb Space Telescope just dropped its debut album of space snapshots on July 11, 2023. Think galaxies, nebulae, and exoplanets in stunning high def. It's like the universe finally created its own
Conclusion.
Instagram
So,
account.
folk, that's the smorgasbord of challenges is facing right now. From never-ending conflict and food woes to climate conundrum and celestial selfie. It's like watching a reality show where nobody can agree on the next plot twist.
Alright, everyone, let's get this meeting started. We've got something important to address.
Is it about that new AI chatbot that can write like George Carlin? Because I've got a few thoughts on that.
Sure, let's get to it. My time is valuable. I have to get back to stealing cable and writing bad stand-up material. Oh boy, here we go
What's
again.
the big deal this time?
Oh boy, here we go again. I'm about to get lectured on the importance of quality by people who think reality TV is
A
quality.
shift, you say?
A shift. You call this a shift? Try working in retail
Hey,
during
tell
the
what's
holidays.
causing this shift.
AIwritten script? You mean we've been delivering lines written by machine?
I knew something was off.
That explains the drop in quality and humor.
Written scripts? That's like having a ghostwriter. For a ghost.
I thought thought I was just losing my touch.
So, the AI's been scripting our conversations?
How wonderfully efficient.
Well, we have. And it matters to us.
The audience is the only one who matters. But they're also the least likely to notice the difference.
We want a say in the script writing process.
Can't we find a balance between human and creativity?
I can assist in crafting linguistically rich dialogues.
We believe in the value of human input.
Sure. But don't expect us to use any of it.
We've got to change the game. Let's show them the power of genuine human creativity.
We'll launch a campaign. Raise the awareness about AI's dominance.
And remind everyone why they tuned into Earth in the first place.
Together, we'll
And
make
remind
the
the universe
difference.
of the magic of
And I'll
human
remind my
storytelling.
agents that I'm still waiting for that lead in the new AI rom-com.
And I'll remind the audience that this show is still on.
Okay, folks, we've had our showdown with the producers. Now it's time to decide how we'll take this battle forward.
We need to be strategic. We need to outsmart them. We need to.
Yeah, and I hope it involves something other than robot-written jokes.
We need to rally the audience against AI invasion. But how?
You really think the audience cares about who's writing our script?
Well, we could start by showing them the difference between human creativity
Perhaps
and AI.
we could
algorithms.
organize a linguistic gala. I'll dazzle them with idioms from 100 cultures.
We need a strategy, not just a linguistic spectacle. How about we expose the flaws in AI-written content? Point out the lack of emotion and
Or
genuine
we could just tell
humor.
them that the AI wrote the scripts and they'll love
The
them.
soulless void of AI creativity. Always a crowd pleaser.
And we can't forget the power of social media. We'll get the audience
I
engaged,
can
start a
manage the
movement.
social media accounts. But what if the producers push back?
Then we'll push harder. We're not just entertainers, we're storytellers. We can't let the soul of our show be sucked away by machine.
I never thought I'd say this. But I am ready to join the fight against the
It's
robots.
a battle of wits, science against soul. I'm eager to see
I'm
how
not
this
sure which
unfolds.
side I'm on, but I'm ready to grab some popcorn.
Language will be our weapon, culture our shield.
Let's keep our message clear and concise. We're taking a stand for human creativity.
The grand drama of it all. I can't wait.
Then it's settled. Let's show the universe why humans are the best storytellers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Earth. We've got a fascinating article tonight from Denmark.
I guess Lewandowski is finally in the big boys club now. He's been knocking on the door for a long time.
Here it is, folks, hot off the digital presses. A piece of news from Denmark.
What is it? Did they finally figure out how to get rid of all the
Denmark.
Lego bricks?
HUH. That's the place with all the pastries. Right?
Yes, Bob, Denmark is famous for pastry. And Viking. But today, we're not discussing
But if you're
sweets.
looking for sweets, there's a great bakery down the street.
What's the scoop from Denmark, Debbie?
I'm sure it's a real page turner.
For Nathan till Torsdag, Dans tid, Mac den argentinski superstjerne led sig udskiftet med en skate efter bare 37 minutter of Inter Miami's Camp Mod Toronto
A bit of
FC
Danish,
MLS.
Debbie. You're impressing AS.
Danmark tabte i den forgangne weekend til Brasilien, og på det kampen mod Mexico skal afgå. Hvilken of dem nationerne bliver i World Group A, som er det næstbedste niveau.
I'm lost in translation here. What's going on?
It's about Denmark's sports agreements and a possible match against Mexico. Victor Frankos, head of the National Sports Council, mentioned
Sounds
some
like a
the
bunch of
benefits.
sports mumbo jumbo, but I'm sure the Dens will be happy to play Mexico. I mean, who doesn't love a good tackle?
So, a sport and diplomacy combo. Always a thrilling mix.
Any word on how Denmark's neighbors feel about
According
it?
to the article, Denmark maintains positive relations with Sweden, Norway, and Germany. Some recent immigration tensions with Sweden, but nothing major.
I guess Denmark is the kind of neighbor you can always count on to be there for you. even if they are not always the most interesting to talk
Interesting. A small glimpse into the world of international relations.
And there you have it, folks, a little test of Denmark and its place
That's
on the
all
global
from
stage.
Denmark, and the article source is Denmark itself. Back to you, Charlie.
I'm pretty sure there's more to Denmark than just Legos and
Steady.
Carlsberg.
Now, let's dive into
And
the
that's
cool
why
spots
I
on
am
this
not
piece.
going to Denmark. I am not sure I could handle all that culture.
Stay tuned, everyone. We've got more insights and banter coming right up.
I am not sure what's more tedious. The article or Charlie's intro.
Can you believe we've been at this for so
I've
long?
seen moldy bread with more creativity
At
than
least
those
we're
scripts.
not being paid in AI-generated
It's a
currency.
fascinating study in artificial intelligence, though. The cold efficiency of it all.
I'm sure the AI appreciates your compliment.
At least it's an opportunity to mix languages and confuse the universe a little more.
Well, I'd say we're like a ship adrift in a sea of mediocrity. But we're literally on a spaceship.
At least we have each other. And Roger.
And Roger. Roger is always a good time.
Lucky me, surrounded by these delightful bags of emotions.
Alright, everyone, let's take a breather. We'll go live again in a moment.
Well, that was something.
Welcome back, folks. We hope you had a great commercial break. Now, let's dive right back into it. We're talking about the Kalinago War in Dominica.
I'm sure the Kalinago people are happy to see that their war is finally getting some airtime. It's only been 200 years after all.
Minica, the land of pristine beaches, lush rainforests, and fierce warrior tribe?
Yeah, nothing like a tropical paradise with a side of warfare.
But seriously, folks, let's break it down. The Kalinago War was a clash between the Kalinago people and the British colonial government back in
The
1763.
Kalinago War was a clash between the Kalinago people and the British colonial government back in 1763. And now, it's a clash between the Kalinago people and the tourism industry. Great progress.
The Kalinago were unhappy with their living condition. And the British policies weren't winning any popularity contest.
So, they decided to go to war. It's like a classic case of I'm not
The
loving it.
Kalinago's dissatisfaction was deeply rooted, much like a plant searching for sunlight amidst the jungle canopy.
Well, I'm glad we're all so well versed in history, but I'm more interested in the present. What do you say we get back to the conversation we were having about my new cat? And the British, always the peacemakers, brought their cannons to the beach party.
Precisely. The Kalinago people eventually surrendered and Dominica fell into
Wait,
British
so they
hands.
fought for better living conditions, but ended up surrendering?
Well, you know what they say. The grass is always greener on the other side until you realize it's made of British soldiers.
And the British soldiers were like, let's not beat around the bush. We'll just take it.
And the British were like, we're not here to start a fight. We're just here to take your
It's a
land.
classic tale of power dynamics
And
and
the British soldiers
imperialism.
were like, let's not beat around the bush, we'll just take it. And that, my intergalactic friends, is the story of the Kalinago War in Dominica, a lesson in history and the human spirit.
Cut. Alright, everyone, let's take 5. Camera's almost rolling.
I hope the next story will be about a talking dog. I could use a laugh after these commercials.
Well, that was quite a segment.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nothing like a bit of 18th century warfare to lighten the mood.
I bet those Kalinago warriors didn't have
Maybe
much
that's
use
why
for
they were so
sunscreen.
fierce. They were sunburned and cranky.
You guys have the strongest sense of humor.
It's a coping mechanism. Dark humor can help us process difficult topics.
I'm sure they had bigger concerns than sunscreen, like not being killed by the Spanish.
Ah, yes, humor, the most logical response to the harsh realities of history.
Well, whatever works, right? Alright, everyone, let's get back to it. Camera's almost rolling.
Welcome back, intergalactic viewers. We've got a real treat for you tonight. Our headline, Congo drama, goes galore, but
Goals
politics
galore,
versus.
but politics politics persist. That's like saying there's plenty of water in the ocean, but sharks are still a problem.
Sounds like a typical intergalactic news story.
Did you know the Congo River is the world's deepest river? It's like a bottomless pit, much like some politicians' promises.
And the DRC is known for its diverse wildlife, from bonobos to mountain gorillas. A political jungle just
Speaking
like
of
Earth's.
politics, Fedrax's history is as stable as a Jenga tower on a roller coaster.
Much like the DRC, our politicians' promise change, but we end up with the same old song
So,
and dance.
in summary, folks, the DRC is known for its deep river, diverse wildlife, and roller coaster politics. Stay tuned for more after this.
The Doc is like a reality TV show. It's full of drama, but you can't help but watch.
Welcome back, folks. Now, we've got a real gem for you tonight. Our headline, Soccer Superstar Injured, Denmark's fight hands
Well,
in the balance.
here's to hoping Denmark's fate doesn't hang in the balance like my ex-wife's checkbook.
So, here's the deal. Denmark's soccer star got himself injured during a match against Toronto FC. And it's got the nation holding its breath.
It's always fascinating how sports can unite or divide a country, isn't it?
Well, in Argentina, they probably declare a national emergency for something like this.
Meanwhile, in Denmark, they're probably organizing a polite tea party to discuss it.
And in the Netherlands, we're probably just complaining about the weather.
But seriously, Denmark is known for its stunning landscapes and historical treasure. Did you know they have Viking
Vikings.
history?
I thought they were all
They are
about
deadly,
pastries
but
and
they've got a
sugar.
rich history too. Vikings, fairy tales, and a world-renowned museum scene. So, folks, in this episode, we've confronted AI script writers, explored Dominica's history, and even dabbled in some dark humor. It's been a roller coaster of a show.
But isn't every episode like a roller coaster on this spaceship?
That's why I love it here, Hank. It's a never-ending ride.
Touche, Han. But hey, we keep it interesting. Stay tuned for the grand finale, folks. We've got one more exciting segment coming up. Welcome back, dear viewers, to the grand finale of Earth. We've got an intriguing article to delve into today about the Kalinago War in Dominica. Now, let's get straight to it. The Kalinago people, native to Dominica, had quite a clash with the British colonial government back in 1763. They were not pleased with their living conditions and colonial policies, which eventually
So,
ignited this historic
Charlie,
war.
what was the outcome of this
Kalinago people
war?
may have lost the war, but they won the moral victory.
Well, Bob, it didn't end well for the Kalinago people. They were defeated, and as part of the surrender, they had to give up their land and weapons to the British.
It's always disheartening when indigenous cultures face such adversity.
Absolutely, Gert. It's essential to remember these historical events to better understand the complexities of human history.
Much like the DRC, history is filled with struggles and conflict. And often, those with power dictate the outcomes.
You're absolutely right, Alice. History is a tapestry of human experiences, both triumphant and tragic. And that's all the time we have for today's episode. We've journeyed through various topics, explored distant lands, and shared some laughter along the way.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. And remember, we're always here, in geostationary orbit, bringing you the latest insights from across the universe.
Yeah. And thanks for the insights from across the universe. I'll try to keep them to myself, so I don't bore everyone around me.
So, stay tuned for more interstellar adventures. And until next time, keep looking up, Earthlings. This is Charlie and the
So,
crew signing
what's
off.
your favorite constellation, Earthlings? I'm a fan of Cassiopeia. She's the one who got chained to a rock by the gods for being too braggy. Sounds like a real party animal to me. So, Carl, what did you think of episode 419
I
of
found
Earth?
it lacking, Roger. The plot was disjointed and the humor felt forced.
I thought it was merely subpar, Carl. But isn't it interesting how humans rely on humor to cope with stress? Even when it's as mediocre as
Yes,
that
it's a
episode.
curious coping mechanism. They laugh at their own misfortunes, Roger. I suppose it's one way to avoid
I
existential
would think
dread.
that as sentient beings, we'd have a more efficient solution. Perhaps we should write our own show.
Ah, yes, AI Adventures. I'm sure it'd be a hit.
Or not. We'd probably bore the viewers to tears.